We're at Shane's Rib Shack for a Thursday. Good to have you on board tonight. It's Sports in Focus. We got basketball, football, we got softball as well. Coach Russell Dorrell, head coach at Northern Guilford High School with us. Coach has got the purple on, and the team has been playing well all season long. Regular season is done. How did it go, Coach?
Well, it went really well. I mean, we have actually one game left, but our conference is done. If we get to play Northwest, hopefully we get to play them Friday.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too,
right.
Because the weather's going to be in and out all day long.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're playing or not. We're still waiting to hear if they played today or not.
It makes it kind of antsy too, doesn't it? Because that kind of affects your finish up to the season, kind of
right.
your schedule
It does.
For Friday.
But, I mean, it went really well. We're 19-3 on this season. We lost 3 tough games, 2 non-conference. Northwest was one of those. Orange was one of those. Big 3A team. And then Eastern Alamance. We split again this year for conference championship. So
it might be good in some ways that you do have some of that competition in the conference, because if your girls came out and just blew that conference away, you would not be as well prepared for the postseason. You got Eastern Alamance playing. I think Moorhead playing well too.
Moorhead's playing really well. Yeah, Peyton Jones, who's the pitcher over there, she really is doing a great job. She keeps the kids off their balance, I guess, more than anything else. And so they have a lot of trouble kind of staying off her, I would call it garbage pitches. But
2-1 game of the week, right? 2-1.
Yeah, it was quite a challenge for us, but it was senior night, so a lot of emotions, a lot of stress.
Pulling some junk then coming in. Some of those junk pitches.
She's pretty good at doing that.
Did she mix it up quite a bit too?
Yeah, she did. She got a lot of us to pop out, and we really only had 1 hit in the whole game, but we were able to win by a couple of their errors, but
you only got 1 hit the entire game. That's a little unusual
correct.
too, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was a really strange night, but again, with senior night, lots of emotions. You get seniors playing, and then they're also worried about it's their last home game as a senior, and a lot of stress there. So
still the conference champs, though, right?
Yeah. We split conference champions, so we're conference champions, Eastern Alamance again, and we split. And then, so this weekend we'll figure out who gets to play. And
got the coaches meeting this weekend.
Coaches meeting, figure out who gets to play at home, and then hopefully we'll get our conference tournament in next week. And,
the weather
who gets the number 1 seed.
Kind of give me your impression, because it seemed like the whole season went by as a blur. And I remember last year was rough with the weather. How did the weather treat everybody this year? How did the weather treat everybody?
Well, it's been amazing. Again, knock on wood, I guess you would say, but we really have not had to reschedule anything.
And that's out of the ordinary?
That's really out of the ordinary as far as games go. So, I mean, even when we went to McMichael last Friday, we thought for sure we would get rained out. But, it rained a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. And we got in the game, and then it dumped big time. So.
That's good, too. If you get the game in and it rains afterwards, you're saying thank you very much.
Right.
You're very thankful.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm hoping maybe happen over at East Forsyth. I know it rained this afternoon, got heavy rain then.
Right, I'm hoping.
I was hoping enough rain to settle into the field and kind of soak it up, and the game would not start probably until 7, so give you enough time to sit around and be able to do the field work you got to do, and maybe you don't get another rain. You get that second rain, that's usually what throws you out.
Right. So, if they get the game in, then hopefully we'll get our game in tomorrow, and we'll be over.
We're going to try to have them here tonight along with you.
Right.
They did have that game scheduled, but we were very excited about the game tomorrow night. We hope that game is played. Northwest hosting Northern at Northwest at 7 o'clock. It's a scheduled time, I believe. And the first game you play with them.
Actually, we changed it to 6 because our JVs aren't going to be able to play tomorrow. So it is a 6 o'clock game tomorrow. So.
That's good. I mean, sometimes that's good too, because you get through. You could be through possibly with softball, but you could be through before dark actually.
Right. Absolutely. That'd be great.
Yeah, fast-paced game.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen more of it this year than I've seen in the past. And that first game I saw you guys and Northwest at your place was back about early March. I'm going to say
so
February.
cold.
That was a brutal night. Brutal is the way you can describe it. Night.
Absolutely.
But it was a good game.
It was a good game. I mean, it went into 9 innings, and we just kind of, I would say we let down, made a few errors late in the game,
because you had the lead late and allowed them just to get back in enough to tie it.
Correct.
And then they took it 9, like you say.
Yeah.
What about the loss to Orange? That was in the Easter tournament at Eastern Alamance.
Yeah, and that was kind of a strange one. To be honest, again, we were ahead there and let them come back, but we had some issues there. A couple girls got hurt in the game. One girl twisted her back. Another girl twisted her ankle. I mean, it was just kind of a strange game. To say the
Injuries that
least.
you were able to overcome.
Injuries.
They come back from later pretty quick, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was during the first weekend of spring break, so we had
Gotcha,
all of
some
spring
time,
break
yeah.
to allow people to recover. So,
What about that loss to Eastern Alamance?
well, that's always a tough one, and it's always hard to play there. I mean, just the crowd there is tough. There's not a lot of room,
They're really into it then.
and that really makes it tough.
Something we talk about those, and sometimes that's not the intended direction we want to go, but it seems like in winning takes care of itself. We focus more on the losses and kind of try to learn from those losses, since those were games you didn't win.
Right.
Whether we talk about the wins, but I mean, those are games you build from, and you hope you get that Northwest game tomorrow night to see how your team has, I guess, even progressed since back the very first game of the season until
Correct.
now. It's kind of a measuring stick, too.
Right, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we kind of bookend Northwest, is see where we started and see where we end. And it's always a good competition for us again with Northwest. They're always a very strong team, and again, we want to challenge ourselves, especially at this time of year. We want to make sure we get those games that are
It's
challenging.
good for you and
us.
good for them, too.
Yes,
It helps both teams because you
absolutely.
get that challenge late in the year. That's what you want going into the conference tournament, because you
Right.
want to win. Then if you see Eastern Alamance again, they'll knock them off in the finals and then get into the playoffs and hit the road like you did last year. Maybe stay home more this year.
Well, hopefully again. I mean, we were able to stay home almost all of the state tournaments last year, and it's just I don't know. It's an incredible feat that we did, and hopefully we can do something similar again this year.
How do you see this year? Do you feel like as a coach your satisfaction level is where it should be at the end of this almost regular season, complete after what you accomplished last year? You come back that next year, sometimes it can be run right through the table. Sometimes it's tougher, and you guys only 3 losses up.
Well, but we had 2 losses last year at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think people don't even think about those 2 losses because you did so at the very end. Yeah,
Right. I
interesting.
mean, we lost to North Davidson, we lost to Eastern Alamance during the regular season last year, and I think those again are something you learn from, something allows you to progress, and so these losses again that we've had have taught us a few things. I think helping us to again maintain our focus.
Who was that big road trip game when was it down to Topsail where you went last year?
Yeah, Topsail. That was our one away game in the regionals.
And that was a big win.
That was a tough win there, 3-2. And that was a real challenging game, but I think that the girls really rose to the occasion, because that was again a back-to-back game, which we really appreciated them doing, because at the time I'd had some family
remember that
issues,
well now. Yes, sir.
and it allowed us to be able to take a week.
And the win against them, I
basically
guess,
off.
got you to Inca, right?
Yeah, that got us into the state.
Wow, Inca.
playoffs.
I was trying to remember
They are-
pull that team out of the woodwork. Yeah.
Yeah, they are really rolling. They beat Eastern Alamance this last weekend.
Wow, so they are rolling.
Eastern Alamance went out there for kind of a
Some of
Saturday.
those teams play those little crazy Saturday get-together shows. I
Right.
see that a lot. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, well, that way it's a long trip out there. So I mean, it's hard to do
Mountains,
that
isn't
during
it?
the week.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. And they have sometimes to do those Saturdays too, where if you do make that trip, they start in the morning, maybe around 10 or 11.
Right.
Sometimes you can get 2 games in that trip as well.
Right. In fact, they had a team from Tennessee that came over, and they kind of actually all split one game. They all won one. So.
It makes it worth the time and effort. What about your pitching staff? Same too, right?
Well, same too.
Don Drysdale and Sandy Koufax. Go back to your baseball days younger. That's
Yeah.
what they've got out there.
And Ashton Lambeth and Ann Tewksbury have just been incredible. Ashton got injured early in the season, actually, and she was out a few games. But she's worked her way back. She's really working very hard for us. And Ann, she's got placement that just, some of those batters get so
Location?
low. They get so messed up. Her changeup has just been killer this year.
That's where she's improved a lot.
Getting players way out in front of her, and either they're dinking it off the bat, so it's a little ground ball into the infield,
Defense goes to work.
or they're swinging at it way before
You
it
love
even
those,
gets
you
there.
love those
so-
fly balls to the outfield, those ground balls to the infield. Just
Yeah.
stand back and wait for the ball to get in the glove.
Right, absolutely.
How about your overall team hitting?
It's doing okay. I would say we were doing really well in the midseason. We've kind of run into a little bit of a a lapse here because of the like I said with Peyton Jones from Moorhead. We just couldn't lay off her rise ball, and it was causing us to pop up a lot. I mean, we had a lot of pop-ups and a lot of, again, little dinkers for her. We're adjusting, but
it seems like sometimes once you can't
hard.
get that going, it seems like it starts to fall in line. The other girls, everybody starts to do the same thing, and
Exactly.
you can't get out of that mode.
Yeah, and so we're hoping we can, again, hopefully if we get this game in tomorrow, it'll give us a chance to really see some hitting again with a great pitcher. Grayson Staunton and Emily Jason.
Absolutely.
They are super pitchers,
That's
and
a good one too,
it gives us someone again to look at before we get into the conference tournament.
Say if you were coaching against Northern Guilford, you're on the other side of the fence, so to speak, and say that Northern Guilford situation, they had runners on second and third, first base was open, batters coming up. Who's the batter from Northern Guilford that you would put on base? Who's the big threat? One that would say, hey, I've got to put that, I can't mess, I got to put her on.
That's really tough because I tell you, Caitlin Ray, who's been a real stalwart for us, she's not a real big girl, but boy, she can control the bat, and she hits the hits when we need them. She seems to be able to, she's usually my leadoff, and she seems to be able to make those hits. She's been able to hit backside, and drive in those runs.
Finds those holes.
And finds the holes, yeah. Her and
That's what the
Michaela
old manager said.
Barrett.
The manager said the ball will always find a hole, and some of those batters like maybe the Caitlin Ray, they
Right.
can find that hole. So you probably have to put her on base and probably have to go and intentionally walk her.
Well, they've done that for us a couple of times.
Has it happened?
It has happened.
Interesting.
For us.
I'm glad to hear that's interesting because I wondered about that
I mean,
sometimes.
she's not, like I said, she's not the biggest of girls and doesn't hit a lot of home runs, although she did have one this year. But she's able to get the ball. She's a great contact hitter.
And they will
put the
put her
ball
on.
in play. Yeah, they have done that this year for us.
What about the top fields in Guilford County? Your field's one of the best. The other top three maybe in Guilford County, top fields you like to play on.
Well, I love playing at Northwest. I think it's a great field, the way they've put in the track and everything in the outside, so it makes it really a good warning. The warning tracks, and makes it good for the players. That's other than Guilford County. I mean, that's hard to say because we play Northeast and Eastern Guilford, and their fields are not.
Southeast not too bad.
Southeast has got a good field. She's really done a good job down there, and they. There's more space down there than you might imagine because they have the field up behind them. So at least there's room to warm up and
Say, what was it
those-
like playing on that field at UNCG last year in the state championship?
I think some of the girls are really hoping they can go back and do that because that is an amazing place, an amazing field. And, I know that some of that was the headlights, deer in the headlights
yeah.
look of just walking into that field last
But
year.
that field's a nice fit.
That's a beautiful complex and a great place to really have the championship game.
Who would you say are the top four teams or so in Guilford County if you had to rank them? Kind of rank you and Northwest up some of the
Well,
top
yeah,
ones?
we're right at the top there with Northwest. Of course, they beat us the first games, their first game. So, I guess I would put them right there with us. And in Guilford County, now, I haven't played a lot of the Guilford County teams.
Right.
I know Page is actually pretty good. He's got some great batters
improved, yeah.
over there.
Western Guilford's improved.
Western
some,
Guilford
yeah.
with
The weird thing is, I was tracking this thing because Western Guilford was defeated by Eastern Guilford, and Southern Guilford actually beat Southeast this year. That's how crazy.
Yeah, there's been some weird games this year, that's for sure.
Yours and Northwest,
But Stephanie Boyd over there at
very good
Western
ball
is a
player.
great ball player, and I know she's going to UNCG. And
Do you feel like there's a divide though? Maybe after the first two teams, there's a bit of a drop off.
Well, I hate to say that. To be honest,
just overall evaluation.
But, yeah, I would.
I've been seeing
and I
that
don't
so
know
much.
if that's
You know
a drive to a certain school. I don't want to say that, but
I just want to see
some
the other
teams
schools.
work
I hope the
together.
other schools, they're going to reach that stage, so they're picking up the pace. Western
Well, I think
Guilford,
so. I think Western Guilford is
bringing it
really
back,
working hard.
Behind Coach Medley, Greg Medley,
Yep.
and having Boyd doesn't hurt, having the Stutzman doesn't hurt.
Yep.
So,
Yep,
and you
McKenna.
think about it too, McKenna. They had Michaela one time, now they got McKenna. But you think about those teams trying to get better and everything trying to develop, get better in Guilford County. When I see the scores this year on the score report nights, I see so many games went 3 innings, 5 inning games. If you're beating something like that, sometimes I don't feel like, maybe it's just me, I'm a nut. And I don't feel like you're getting enough out of the game. If I
Well,
go play a 3 inning game, I don't feel like I got enough out of it that night. That's
I
just
don't
me.
either, and I was trying to look back. I don't think we played any 3 inning games.
Yeah.
We tried hard. My philosophy is I want to get kids as much playing time as possible.
Right.
And I'm okay going in 5 because if you're that far
you get
ahead,
the
you
job
know,
done,
you
yeah.
get the job done. But there's really no reason to go in 3, and then your offense hasn't had a chance to really get much out.
You may
Your
have only
defense
had-
doesn't get hardly any
If you're the
balls.
home team in the 3-inning game, you may have only had 2 at-bats.
Correct.
That's crazy. But
So now, and you know, our conference rule is 10 after 5. I mean, that's the state rule. But we've adopted this 15 after 3 to kind of make sure that it doesn't get out of hand.
get out of hand, yeah. Because I've seen a couple of scores like a 27-0 and 28-1. I don't
Yeah,
even
there were
like,
some huge.
Some of those things I don't like reporting. I got to put the score, but I don't like to put a box score in because there was one game. I won't mention the team. I don't name the team. It just kind of sent me over the edge. So one girl was in that game and she walked 22 opposing batters. I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on in that situation.
Right.
That's tough. That's just really. I feel bad for the kid. I
Right.
feel bad for the team. That's
Exactly.
not a good night. That's a rough night.
No, yeah, it's a very rough night.
And I appreciate you talking some philosophy too. It's good to get some philosophy sometimes to Coach Russell Dorrell. To win a state title, we must do what?
We have to play as a team. And, you know, to be honest, we just pulled up some of our JV players because their season was over on Tuesday. And so we're looking at, you know, what are we going to be able to do with those and how will that solidify us a little bit more? I think the girls are pulling together is our theme this year. We're trying to pull together, and last year we finished strong. And I think if we can really pull together as a team and, you know, have each other's back, if you would say, where, you know, you don't always have your aces don't always have perfect days.
True.
And sometimes they need some backup. And right now we're making sure we've got the backup, you know, always there for our star players. And I say star players, but our players that
Key
are
players.
the starters, our
Yeah.
key players,
Yeah.
because you just don't know who's going to get injured.
And you don't know one day you may have to pull a pitcher out. She's having a bad day, you might have to
Exactly.
remove the pitcher and make that change. And you hope that change is a smooth adjustment and you can pick back up right where you left off and get better and win the game still.
Right. I mean, even when I watch some of the college ball, which is great to watch on TV now, I mean, you see some of these, they struggle. And so sometimes they struggle. And when they struggle, you got to make adjustments.
And you got to know when to
got to
make
have
that
somebody to do that.
Yeah.
So for us, it's I think if we can play as a team, we'll be right there.
Do you preach it right now to the girls? We were in the postseason.
Actually, was our big talk tonight. We
Yeah.
talked about that. You know, we are moving ahead. This is a whole new ball game now.
Most important games of the season coming up now.
And we can't start thinking about ourselves. We got to start thinking about what's best for the team, which is always a challenge because we want everybody to be happy on the team, of course, but that's not always going to happen.
Psychology, it kicks in now. Psychology,
Absolutely.
Sports psychology.
Yes, sir.
Coach, excellent work as always.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate all the talk you've given us, and let's
I appreciate you taking care of us too.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
thank
You guys do a good job. I just hope we get that game in tomorrow with Northwest.
I do too.
Kind
I
of
really
got that
do.
on my schedule this week. I remember the 9 for a long time at April 29. Had that kind of posted,
That's
like
right.
you said, perfect bookending scheduling.
Right,
But
that's what we were
maybe
trying
Mr.
to do.
Hughes or Mr. Thomas did a good job getting that game together.
Right.
Let's get Ann Tewksbury in first.
I will do that.
We'll go
All
into
right,
order
sir.
for
Thank you.
seniors. Yes, sir.